Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's week 13, and we are literally almost done with ENC2210. So I'm just going to really quickly go over where we are and what's going on. Last night, of course, was Sunday night, and you were turning in your draft of your formal analytical report for my feedback, which I'm going to try to provide super quickly this week. I know sometimes getting grades back and feedback can take a little while, but you guys are among my top priority this week because of that. So you're going to take what I tell you and make changes and make revisions and be ready to submit your final formal analytical report. We have one other activity assignment to do other than the final portfolio. Remember, the final portfolio is made up of things that you have done previously, mostly early, the kind of the first half of the semester. You were to make changes to those based on the feedback and the grades, and then assemble everything in a final portfolio. So I will go over how to get that all set up in the not so distant future. But I want to talk a little bit about the presentation aspect that goes along with your formal analytical report. One of the key things in academic writing and in writing for work is that we oftentimes end up having to deliver the same information in multiple modalities. And so one of the things that I think is really important is that for us during in putting together the formal analytical report is to also deliver it not in written form, but in presentation form. So this week, you're going to submit just the PowerPoint part for the FAR presentation. You do not have to do any new research. You do not have to do any new thinking. It is really just your FAR, and this is you presenting it to your audience. So this week, you're going to submit the PowerPoint. And then next week, you're going to submit the video of you giving the presentation along with the formal analytical report. I have paused. You can enter. Sorry about that. I am recording this in my office, and I have people coming in and out. So anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch. So in week 13, you're going to be submitting your resume and cover letter. Notice that just like those assignments early in the semester, it says this is a draft. It's the same thing. That is going to become part of your final portfolio, which is not due until December 3rd. The final exam is turned in by December 7th. So we have a little bit more time after Thanksgiving, but not a lot. So the main things, of course, are the FAR and the presentation about it, because between all the grades there, that's your biggest grade this semester. So I wouldn't worry too much about the FAR until I get you your feedback, but I am going to try to get that back to you early this week so you could conceivably get ahead of it so you don't have to work it over Thanksgiving. But it is due the end of the week, right after Thanksgiving. So anyway. In terms of the presentation, like I said, you are essentially turning your FAR into a presentation. So this week you're going to create the PowerPoint. Next week you're going to present the video with you and the PowerPoint in it. I will tell you the easiest way to do that is what I'm doing right now. And that is to use Zoom all by yourself and record yourself. There are plenty of other ways to record yourself on your computer, but you do need to be visible along with the PowerPoint while you are presenting. So you can record in PowerPoint. Just make sure that you are not just doing a narration. You're not just doing the voiceover. It needs to be you. If you're recording in PowerPoint, it'll put you in a little box down in the corner, which is absolutely fine. You can have someone record you doing it. During COVID and before COVID, we used to have very elaborate presentation requirements where you would have to do it in front of an audience in the like put it up on the screen and do it just like you were in a classroom. I've backed off on some of that since COVID because, of course, having people around was not always possible. So you don't have to have an audience, but if you do have somebody available who can video you using even a phone camera, that's perfectly fine. I do highly recommend that when you turn in your video, you do it by uploading it to YouTube and then submitting the YouTube. That's what I do with all of these, as you have seen, because you get to see them in YouTube. You can mark them as, it's not private, unpublished, I think is the terminology. And then that way, only people with the link can see it if you're concerned about privacy. You can upload a video in Canvas from your phone or from, your computer, but it is going to take a very long time and people sometimes give up. Please do not give up. But again, I think if you will use YouTube, it will be much simpler for yourself. So the only other assignment that you're working on this week is the resume and cover letter. And we have been learning about things related to resumes and cover letters throughout the entire last few weeks. So you are going to have essentially 3 pages, well, 3 pages of your own creation, plus I want to see a job ad that you are responding to. So you'll have an APA cover page. You're going to have the job advertisement with a brief statement of how you found it and why it's relevant. This could be a job that you are perfectly qualified for now, or this could be a job that you won't be qualified for until you get more degrees. A cover letter in standard business format that would be appropriate for the job in the ad. So if this is a later job, then your cover letter may not be 100% truthful. You may be talking about credentials that you don't have yet, for example. However, your resume needs to be your current resume. And then, of course, you at least have the job ad that you should have on a reference page. And if there's any other tools and things that you used, you would put those on the reference page as well. Keep in mind, your cover letter and your resume should not be more than 1 page each, period, end of discussion. Okay, there you go. So there's additional resources in the course to help you with that. And if you have questions, of course, feel free to reach out. But that's what's due this week. You will get feedback on that, and then it will, like those other things that are marked draft, will become part of your final portfolio, which we'll talk about when that gets closer. All right. So in the meantime, I hope everybody's having a great week 13. I must admit, I'm traveling for Thanksgiving next week, so I don't know that I'm going to post a full length video like I normally do, but I'll at least have an announcement to let you know. But basically next week, it's the FAR and the video. So you know now what you need to do for next week, and you can do it early if you want and be done before Thanksgiving, which will give you something to be thankful for. All right, everybody take care. Have a great week 13, and I will see you when I see you.